Everybody calls him the Spark. And that's Brett Lawrie, Mr. Energy for this year's White Sox. Robin Ventura, Mr. Low Key. But he's doing okay so far. Got to watch those pitchers, though. And General Manager Rick Hahn, speaking of pitchers, he's looking for some pitching and maybe a hitter or two as the team slumps somewhat. And this week we flash back, as we always do, to a great moment in history. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, it's the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to the Cove for Benkowski Trivia, Wednesday, June 1st at 8 p.m. Great people, great game. Close to the lake at 1750 East 55th Street. A fun place, a cool place. I'll see you at the Cove on June 1st. You've got to get to the Sock. Live Benkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays, 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. You've got to get the Snapper's Seafood and Chicken like I do at 115th and Western. Amongst their fine menu items, tilapia, perch, catfish, shrimp, conch from the Miami Connection, crab, but Philly steak and grilled food. It's great. Get the Snappers. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. We're back on the spotlight and we're talking Brett Lawrie. Here's a guy who, I don't know, just seemed like a pretty good guy, as I recall him at Oakland. And then when he comes to the White Sox, he's just the king of energy. And any White Sox player from 2015 that you talk to, what's the biggest change in your club? The energy Brett Lawrie brings. And he is running around like a kind of a, I don't want to say crazy man, but I guess I just did. He's jumping around and always ready for action. Just a live wire. Last year that was Adam Eaton for a while. But Eaton will be the first to say that he's handing the energy crown to BL. And so we talked to him a little bit and kind of got his mindset about being in Chicago and carrying that role out of the energy guy, which he seems to do with ease and pleasure. And let's take it away with Brett Lawrie.
You guys have proved to be road warriors. I mean, obviously you're not going to win them all out there, but having a good start on the road and not really caring where you guys play, is that work to your advantage?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you never really worry about where you're at. You just try and worry about the group and worry about what we need to attack today and to stick to our own plan, not really worry about who's across the field.
That's a lot about what you have to do this homestand too, but why don't you have Houston and Kansas City and Cleveland a little more of a measuring stick too?
Well, I just think, like I said, just keep attacking our plan, worry about what we have to accomplish and what we have to do as a group, and not really worry about what's going on across the other side. Just got to worry about what we need to worry about as a group.
So how much was yesterday a nice off day, especially after kind of
Yeah, it's nice to have off days at home. You know, you're comfortable. You're able to just kind of drop your bags for a minute, wear comfortable clothes, and go see the city a little bit, and not have to jump back in the hotel. So it's good to be back for sure.
Are you a standings watcher, or is it what is it?
No, man. You come every day and prepare the same way we have, and take care of business when when the bell rings at 7.
Brett, I know you want to concentrate on what you guys are doing, but when you see the Astros and what your record is and all the talent they have, are you surprised to see that they're struggling?
I haven't really been paying attention, to be honest with you. I've been paying attention to what we have to take care of. I don't even know what the record is, to be honest with you. So.
What have you learned about your teammates and yourself in this group, this first almost quarter of a season we're coming up to right now?
That we got a lot of fight, and we stick behind each other and we back each other up. It doesn't matter what situation it is. We're there for one another, and we keep continuing to pick each other up on an everyday basis.
How does that compare with other teams you've played on? Is it an intangible? Does every team have different degrees of it?
Yeah, I think every team's a little bit different. I mean, every guy in here is a different person than any other team that I've been on, just because every human's different. So I think you take that in stride, you build bridges, and you learn to build relationships with guys you've met and the guys that you haven't met before in spring training, and you try and carry that on into the season, and we've just continued to do so.
Hey, Brett, much obviously more important to be in first place than not to be in first place, but how important are standings even at this time of the year, even from a confidence standpoint?
I mean, you know what? We worry about W's, and that's all we worry about. We don't worry about, like I said, what's going on across the field or anything else. We just worry about attacking each and every day individually and worrying about what's happening on that day.
As you travel around Chicago, are people starting to notice you guys who you are?
I mean, a little bit here and there. Nothing too crazy. I haven't really been out and about a whole lot, just because we haven't really had the time. But here and there, you get a couple faces. But
what type of sense are you getting about Chicago White Sox fans?
Oh, you know what? They show up and they give us a lot of support, and it's time to give us. It's time for us to give them something too. So when we go out there and we give them everything out on the field and we leave it all out there, and it's good to have them behind our backs out there. And when you hear the crowd and it's loud, and it's important for us because it's what we like to play for.
When last year's group of players is asked about what's different this year, a lot of them cite you as an energy source and a spark. How does that make you feel?
I take it in stride. I'm just being me. So thankfully that's being interpreted well. I don't think anybody in here needs to be anybody but themselves, and it's not just me. We got a lot of new faces in here. Todd Frazier, who's sick today, but he makes his clubhouse go around. Chris Sale, and there's a lot of other faces too. But it's not just me. But I'm thankful to be a part of this group, and I'm thankful to come to the clubhouse every day with good energy and positivity to bring the group.
Thanks.
Thanks, Brett.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Furland EDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the Family Dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. General Manager Rick Hahn, using every stat available, is breaking down possible trades to get the Sox into the postseason and deep into it. At this time of year than you might normally be. You're not waiting things to filter out. You're trying to be proactive. And I think maybe also with the kind of homework it sounds like you've done, this is maybe when you can get a steal.
I don't know about getting a steal. The other 29 guys are pretty bright too. They're probably brighter, even some would argue. We're going to be aggressive. We've been aggressive over the last few weeks. We're going to continue to be aggressive throughout the summer. It may not lead to a single transaction. It may lead to a series of smaller transactions like you've seen over the last week. But ultimately, if we find the right opportunity to improve ourselves, particularly for now, but ideally for now and in the future, we'll aggressively try to get it done.
Rick Gonzalez has gotten the ball a couple times since he made the roster move with John. How would you assess his 2 starts?
We've had a chance, 3 starts. We've had a chance to win all 3 of the games. We've won 2 of them, and he left the 3rd one while we were winning. Obviously, his command wandered from him a little bit more than we would hope, but we also realized that we've given him 3 extremely difficult assignments at Toronto, at Texas, and at Yankee Stadium. He's a professional, like the mix of pitches, like the movement on his pitches. Need to harness a little bit of the command a little bit better to let him go deeper in games, but we're looking for him to give us a chance to win, and he's done that 3 out of 3 times so far.
A lot of us will be concentrating on the fact that you're going to try to solidify the starting staff, but if an awesome bullpen guy came along, would that be another way to look at it for you guys?
And we just came from a place where the game has been significantly shortened by the players the pitchers they are able to bring in the 7th inning. It's essentially a 6-inning game versus the Yankees right now when everybody's fresh. So that is a way to improve your starting staff by limiting the innings that they need to cover. It's definitely a path that we may well venture down, and we'll just have to wait to see what's available coming this summer.
How important have these 2 guys been behind the plate this year? Your catchers, you really have shored up that position well.
No, they've been good. They've been real good. And then, look, last year, both Tyler and Gio produced in different ways that were helpful to us. I think that the pitchers have been extremely comfortable in throwing to Alex and Dio. We saw when Alex went down, Navarro's offense picked up, and he was able to perform at the level that we anticipated from an offensive standpoint during that stretch. And both of them have fit in fantastically in the clubhouse. So we're real pleased with that thus far.
How about Austin Jackson? How do you fit with him?
Austin's been great in center for us. He's stabilized the outfield defense. He's sort of been the captain out there, and I think have helped make Adam Eaton even better in right field. And obviously, Melky's been his usual solid self in left. So we're real pleased with what he's brought to us from that standpoint, and from a competitiveness standpoint and a clubhouse standpoint.
I know there's a lot of baseball left. Considering the starts you guys have had the last few years, to be where you're at right now, how does that feel?
From a big picture standpoint, we feel good. From a micro standpoint, from a day-to-day standpoint, frankly, we should have done a little better on the last road trip. And I think everybody feels that way in there right now, that we were in all 6 of the games, but wound up only winning 2 of them. And we also know we have a stretch in front of us now with 17 games in 16 days, 10 against the teams from the last World Series, and playoff team here with the reigning Cy Young winner on the mound. We got another tough stretch ahead of us right now. I think the fact that there's still that edge, there isn't a complacency or dissatisfaction with the fact that we have gotten off to the type of start that we wanted, is a good thing. Is going to serve us well as we continue to focus on winning tonight's game and getting through yet another tough stretch in our schedule.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Rick.
All right.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alton, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and a fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget the Illinois Lottery too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. You've got to get to the Sock Live Minkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great game, great people. Check out the Sock. I think you'll be glad you did when you go to my trivia game every other Thursday. 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to the Wise Owl at Van Buren and Racine. Pizzas, pork sliders, Cuban sandwiches, carrot soup, elote, burgers, tacos, salads, and more. Great cocktails and great bartenders. A tremendous array at the Wise Owl, Van Buren and Racine. See you there. We're back in the spotlight talking to Robin Ventura, and let's take it away with more questions about how the team can improve, how it can evolve, how it can win.
Robin, is Gonzalez going to get the ball on the weekend, or is that slot open?
Where are you at on the weekend? We're on Tuesday right now, so
To be determined.
yeah. I mean, he's going to get it again, but where that is, I haven't even gone that far. We're getting through these 3 days, and then we're trying to line up the doubleheader, Tuesday. So he should fall right in line where he's been.
What did you think of? I know you have a lot to focus on up here, but Tim Anderson during spring training, did you notice a pretty big jump from the spring you saw him before?
Yeah, well, we've seen him a couple of years now, and I think this is the one where the maturity-wise has grown the most. The first ones he was just excited to be up there trying to impress, and I think, when you go through a couple years like that where you're trying to impress and then you come in and knowing where he was going to go, I think that was the biggest thing. He relaxed, and offensively he's enjoyable to watch just because he swings a lot. He makes a lot of hard contact. I think most of it's going to be if he can kind of simulate himself out on the field and get himself pretty comfortable out there. And, that happened in spring training somewhat, and I think there's a ways to go for him to do that. But he was on his way of doing that.
Rick has been subtly, building up some guys at AAA for the inevitable that you're going to need more guys. It always happens during the season. You happy to see that, and is that a part of the plan to continue to build? Because you know that you just don't get through a season with 25 that you start with.
Yeah, well, you definitely don't get through with the pitchers that you leave camp with. So I think you insulate yourself enough with, you get the best guys you can, and you're going to have to use some guys like this. And I think us getting Gonzo was similar to that you're able to get a guy to, make it through some tough lineups. He's had some tough assignments already. With the teams he's faced, so that can only help you to have some depth like that, and I think that's one of the things you're trying to do to make it through a season.
From what you think Fisher might be back tomorrow, or it's more of a wait and see how he's feeling?
He might show up tonight. I don't know. I know he's not here right now, but he could make it here by tonight and come in and hit a homer and win the game, and then everybody will stay away from him.
So you didn't tell him not that he's going to be here at some point.
I haven't talked to him. I'm not saying that he will be here, but I'm not saying that he won't be here. I have not told him not to be here. Does that make sense to you? Okay.
It seems like every year a couple, three guys are well below their career averages, and it's sort of mystifying. I know you got about 3 of your starters in that condition now. Is it just the way it goes, or do you think that there's something approach-wise can be altered to try to get 7 or 8 guys close to their maximum production?
Well, I don't think we don't try and hamper them by we don't try and tie one hand behind their back. So I think part of it is a combination. It could be mechanics. It could be a lot of things. It could be the way they're pitching them. It could be it's cold. We know they're going to get out of it. And I think in the situation that we're in right now, we like the way we've been playing, and we know that our offense is going to get better. And that's the way we look at it.
Jose, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You've got to get to Jack's 3325 Ridge Road in Lansing. Trivia every Tuesday at 7 p.m. A very intense competitive game. Any of half a dozen teams can win. Oliver's, 6100 West 159th Street. Live trivia Thursday, June 9th at 7 p.m. We have a great time, great food, great drink, great people. Oliver's on 159th. See ya over by there. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. Trivia will be at the Sock. Alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great food, great drink, great people. Everything great. You've got to get to Del Sur Mexican restaurant, open for lunch and dinner daily. Shrimp, tilapia, salmon, steak, chicken dishes, you name it. It's all there at 46th and Halsted. Great stuff at Del Sur Mexican restaurant. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. The Irish Legend has a big event Sunday, May 29th at 5 p.m. A big cookout and beer promotional events. Stick around for that and get specials. Live music as well. 8933 South Archer in Willow Springs. Be at the Irish Legend for the big Sunday Memorial Day 5 p.m. cookout. We're back in the spotlight. Of course, we're at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, and we're talking to a man who's very happy these days in 1993. He's happy because he's got some definite at-bats to show and is making it happen with those. We re-welcome Dwight Smith to the program, and I guess all along, probably since just about 89, you just wanted to get in that lineup with some more regularity, and we see that happening these days.
Exactly. I'm getting a chance to play, and like you said, I'm getting the most out of it. We got to keep going. We want to win some ball games. I'm tired of seesaw. We want to get up here over 500 and keep going. But like you said earlier, I wanted an opportunity. I got to make the most of this opportunity. Just we got to keep it going.
One thing that I was looking through some old statistics. I do a lot of sports trivia shows throughout Chicagoland, and if I say the name Pikeville, does that mean something to you?
Yes, it does. The first year I played, I was scared half to death in the minor leagues, and that's probably why I led the league in stolen bases there.
That's my question. I asked the question. He led the league at Pikeville in stolen bases, and Willie Wilson gets his number of guesses and stuff. But when we see you out in center field, people are reminded of the fact that you always can move pretty well on the base paths, and it's fun to be out there in the middle.
Exactly, like you said, you got a good vision of where the ball is being pitched. You got a lot of room to roam, opposed to the corners where you got to go to the wall immediately. In center field, you got it's like a big garden out there. And if you do have speed, you get to utilize your speed and get to go and make the acrobatic catches and make the crowd go crazy. So therefore, it makes me like defense a lot more better, and it keeps me interested in the game as well.
Well, back in '89, when you and Jerome were running 1-2 for Rookie of the Year, a lot of people just saw you in left, and they really weren't aware of your defensive skills or speed. But and it took a few years to get a chance to re-showcase that. But you probably feel more comfortable in center than anywhere else.
Exactly, and also in having success in center field makes you more comfortable on the corners now, because like you say, you're getting recognized as a good defensive ball player. So when people get the stagnation off you of you can't do it, or putting a label on you, you can't do this or do that, you kind of starting to believe it yourself. When you get the opportunity to play and show them different and success is confident, you figure you can play there and anywhere now.
And now back to the at-bats and the additional time in the lineup. Willie plays some, but you're seeing most of the action against the right-handers. What is your attitude like when you go to the plate?
Well, I figure I got to get them right now. I got to do well. I got to shine, and that's what it's all about. I'm leading off, so I want to be the one to get it started. So my attitude to the players, I got to go out there and get a hit or get on base any way I can and score runs. And I've been doing that and having fun doing it as well.
There's probably a tendency, well, there's certainly a tendency at this ballpark. If you're batting a little lower in the order, you just start checking the wind, you start thinking RBI all the time. Maybe batting upper in the lineup is better for your head.
Exactly. It takes the pressure off you of driving in runs. Now it puts the pressure on you getting on and scoring the runs. You're getting on for the big guns, and Jose Vizcaíno's behind me, hitting real well, getting me over the third, and etc. like that for Rhino and Gracie, etc. and Derek May. And that's what a leadoff man does. If you're going to look at a leadoff man, he's going to have X amount of ribs, some home runs, but his big stats going to be on base percentage and runs scored, and that's what I try to focus on leading off.
Well, another thing that you bring to the ball club is your entertainment skills, and I'm sure at times with a little serenade, maybe a teasing kind of little song you put together, you probably get your teammates laughing. Maybe even after a tough loss now and then, you find yourself going up to them, hitting them with the bat with that pretend microphone or whatnot.
Exactly. Either I could be in the shower or something, and somebody said, "Get me going," like that, and we'll start singing, because a good echo chamber, as you know, in the shower, in your restrooms at home, and like you said, I do keep the ball club loose to that perspective, and it's fun. Music is universal, and everybody tends to relax for that. When you're uptight, it's a good form of relaxation, and sure, I do it sometimes.
We know, of course, you've done the anthem here, and I've heard your legendary imitation of Michael McDonald. Who are the new music people in the scene that you find yourself copying?
Well, I do a lot of them. I do Stevie, I do George Benson, I do Luther. I try to mimic everybody. I guess I was a class clown coming up, so I just do them all. I have fun with them all.
Well, certainly Dwight Smith is having a great time keeping his fellow Cubs and so many new faces on the Cubs loose this year. Maybe as we wrap up, you could leave him with a little bit of Stevie since you're wearing the honorary shades.
One you said earlier, isn't she lovely, isn't she wonderful? I never thought the love will be making one that lovely is she, but so very lovely, made from love.
Yeah, unbeatable. We'll be back with more in just a moment, but it is unmatchable. Well, we can't beat it, but we do have one more clip to finish the show. So Michael Jordan scores 43 against the Knicks in this 1993 playoff game.
Wilkins is here for one reason, that's more or less to guard me because he's had some past success. Well, I felt Jordan Stopper had a tough night tonight. You know, I feel he's gonna try to look at the films and make adjustments, as well as I have to look at the films and make adjustments. But you know, I look at it as a challenge. You know, no matter what he says, you know, and what they say, you know, it's a challenge for me too. You know, and a player at my stature and at my career, I look forward to all type of challenges. You know, when I'm at my best, it's tough for anybody, you know, to guard me, and that's just the confidence that I have in my offensive capabilities. And it's a challenge, as I said, and I look forward to it. And I don't think it's gonna, you know, they're gonna make it a focal point next game to come out and come straight at me and try to contain me. And I hopefully, you know, my supporting cast is gonna sting them a little bit. So this setup for the other guys to come in and hurt them now, since the focal point is going to be on me.
Michael Jordan at the end of the game stepping up and playing big and doing what he does for this team so well. Our boards were adequate, and I think that was the reason why we won. I can't give enough credit to Scott Williams and on the boards and playing big in place of Horace Grant.
You've been watching the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Perfect Pitch located at 108th and Kedzie. Take your vehicles there for great repairs. This week's show has been brought to you by the Lansing Floral Shop. Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing, 708-396-1010.